now that I've got what I came for. I'm leaving Apatir. Too many memories. Almost all of them bad. Some of us join because we have to. Others expect it to be an adventure. We're a patchwork, really. A glorious patchwork of imperfection. It's a good town, or it was before the Motus disaster and the mercenaries. I have fond memories of Whitestone. I used to buy candy at Varric's place. Simpler times. He's as corrupt as they come, but I shouldn't be one to speak, not with my associations. Still, it's one thing to say you're a crook, and another to pretend you're not. It wasn't my life plan to become a traveler, believe me. But sometimes necessity is the only star you follow. My parents were miners, and worked themselves to the bone to provide. When the Terrenium dried up, so did they, you could say. I didn't want to leave Apatir, so I stayed. See you.
Good to see you. Lone Camp will need all the help it can get now that the Hierophant... Come again. Need to do any trade? I have some items for sale, or I can buy if you're looking to fence some items. Come again.
Any clothes? You again. Tell me, do you have any peasant clothes you don't want to hold on to? I'd like to buy them off you. Indeed. It is not clothes so much as cloth. I'm a tailor by trade, and from my hands are born the costumes and curtains of our fair camp. But the players of our camp are always in need of new articles of dress. I need lots of material, and quickly. Bring me some peasant clothes and I can rework the material with relative ease. What say you? You mean truly? It's been a while since I've had any good material to work with. I await your findings. If I knew, I wouldn't need you around to find them for me, would I? I think if you poke around, you'll dig some up. Their words are often in the ears of common folk, and their songs play in the hearts of all. I used to find good work in Rathir, but the travelers here have a real passion for the art of performance. I'm happier here. Irion is one of Moon Camp's leaders, but the other, Mare, has left us. And it gets worse. Mare was also Irion's wife. I mean, how would you feel? It's a wonder a man like Irion could weather it. Mare might have been co-leader of the camp, but she's no performer. She's a thief, through and through. It might have worn on her to be surrounded with folk like us. Guess it just wasn't a good fit. Pleasant journeys.
Mayor's all right as the leader of Moon.
Fancy a game of dice? Got a few coin in my pocket that I'm feeling a little loose with. Ain't too complicated. We roll 2 dice. If we're playing high roll, then the highest roll wins. No surprises there. For range roll, you pick a range of numbers to roll between. Simple as that. I was a waif once, a cutpurse from the streets of Rathir before the travelers spoke with me. They've become the family I never knew. The Hierophant's gone, as far as I can tell, and it's hit Moon Camp in a strange way. Grim Onwig's in charge now. Without the Hierophant and without Mare, Irion never came back. None of us know what happened to him. The man's supposed to be leading this camp, but all he can do is weep. He's taken the loss of Mare hard enough. Oh, aye. Mare's is a real song of storybook romance, but looks like things soured between her and Irion. Another time, another game.
These times are growing grim. With my training, I could help you get a leg up with trading. We all might need our last coin. Well now, there are many in the Travelers with clever hands, but in Moon Camp we value a silver tongue above all. The coast was torn apart by the war. It's now a wasteland for scavengers, refugees, and soldiers. The art of the haggle is just another form of performance, and that is where we excel here at Moon Camp. The times we've come are strange indeed. The Hierophant is in chains, and Grim Onwig runs things here. Rumor is that Irion wasn't strong enough to weather this without Mare's help, and so he fled. Or maybe he was forced out. Irion's wife left him, so it seems. Wouldn't be that bad, save the fact that she's also a leader of the camp. Irion's so busy pining after her that we've got nothing to do. Don't suppose we can get her back, can we? Seems that Mare left Irion. Odd enough. When they first came to Moon Camp, they were like lovers from some ballad. I bid you goodbye.
Yeah? We did it. We got out from under that rock and left the Hierophant in chains. We're the true travelers now. Free. They're a bit lost without the Hierophant, but they'll be able to get through it in time. Grim, Krilgarin and I are here, and we'll make sure they see the light. Well, I've been to Telogris' den and back, but it feels calm to be at this place once more. Grim's running things here now. He said in time I might take the reins. That'll show these spur-galled layabouts. Egg-eating, swill-sucking, take-it-in-the-eye for a side, twig-wrenching traitor. Stew-brained wretch. Send me to die, will he? He'll get his. I swear it. Remember me.
Met with Basmir Hume? I hear that Ehrman has taken to teaching others the
Our prophecy from Argene scorned could not of doom keep her forewarned. But though we laugh her to her cell, without her are we chained as well. Grim has come to Moon and taken reign, with a new order to maintain. Of his coup, he does not explain. A sullied order the untouched cast, but rest assured we shall outlast. Live on your feet as we are told, while using hand to steal the gold. The somber times have come too fast, for now our seer's seen her last. A grim fate was dealt, and now is cast. The King of Cups without his queen is swapped for Grim and goes unseen. The vile hag of sun, tormenting us all so, now deserving of our shun, to gallows she shall go. But though we scorn her, her words steered us from danger. Of hatred is that woman so deserving, but should her banishment be so unnerving? Goodbye, fly high.
My cards. Has the magic left them? Not 2 months ago I had seen Irian and Mare fated to lead this camp for years to come. We travelers spend our lives out of doors, on roads and camps and fields, ever moving, ever roving. We have entered times outside of what my cards have seen. Grim, the leader of the camp? Irian, fled? Curious. The Hierophant has left us, and for the first time, the cards feel empty. Have we lost our dealer? Irian is the leader of this camp. He is a true master of the stage, but a cunning thief as well, in his own way. Mare was the leader of this camp, along with our king, Irian. But fate ripped their paths apart, and now they are separate.
Think I've done all I can for you, stranger. It's still nice to see a friendly face.
Never needed a life with a house, with walls and a roof. Here is where a man can be free. The Hierophant had it in for me. Meant to see me on a noose for not being a quiet little servant. So I left the Travelers. I guess as long as I got a message, it didn't matter if I was dead or not. Hierophant's mistake. I had to learn what I could of the Hierophant, and that all brought me here, to you. The Travelers will always be different because of you. For better or for worse, the Chariot has left a lasting mark. Now we have some loose ends to take care of, but you can take a well-earned rest.
What's needed? Mayor's all right as the leader of Moon.
Need something? Inthiels knows all the doings of Moon Camp. Speak with him if you need more information.
you look capable. Stern in the brow, proud of bearing. You are just what we need to deliver these notices. You'll do it, won't you? You've got to do better than the last fellow. There's pay. It's for the war effort. Notices of duty to denizens of Rathia selected to serve. The work can be hard, and you've got to, well, look the part. I'll give you a list of names, and you get each of them to accept their card. Easy as that. Well, what do you say? Will you do it? What I need are boots on the ground in Cluricon. I shouldn't say this, but if anyone can't or won't accept the notice, find someone else. Or make them. Whatever you need to do. Take these cards, deliver them to Runir Wesnan, Maywin Wyvern Gif, Aefendel, and Varen Seawine. Almain? Odd. All can be found in Rathir, and I can be found in the officers' hall on the burn when you're finished. The names are Runir Wesnan, Maywin Wyvern Gif, Aefendel, and Varen Seawine. They're all in Rathir. You can't fight a war without soldiers. True, we contract the Warsworn and volunteers arrive daily, but it's not always enough. Citizens of Rathir are selected on... Well, the process is secret. Even I don't know how. They're selected, a notice is sent, and they serve. We're in Rathir. This is the war effort. How do you think we get a steady flow of soldiers into Cluricon? You've got to be organized, and everyone's got to pitch in. Went and broke his little leg. Oh, Lunala's tears. Hasn't a notion of how important our work is. No sense of the bigger picture. I'm the chief of recruitment, and don't think I've got time to go around handing out notices. Those notices are only the beginning. Now, be on your way.
Welsh maize is just too expensive.
Well now, how are you?
A moment, love. I'll be right with you.
You! You're the new Archsage! It's a pleasure, your sageousness. An honor! What is this? It was only a matter of time before the army found me out. Just my luck. This calls for another drink. I'll have to pack my things. Alison, how do I tell my sister? Where will she live? How will she live? Army wages can pay for Alison now, but I'm leaving her. I'll send money. I hope she doesn't end up in the Wending. Let them sleep in their lofty towers. I'm headed for a real life, not sitting in front of books all day and being condescended to. One thing I've learned, the ladies here are like the Spire, breathtakingly beautiful and completely unassailable, especially to a failure like me. Rove, another ale! Make that two!
May you stay in the theory.
No, I don't believe it.
students of magic, masters of spells.
Fetch this, clean that, never a moment's rest.
Hello?
Did my parents send you? Are you some sort of new instructor? What is this? Have my parents seen this? Oh, Lunala's starry smile. Yes, yes, and yes! To Chloricon. Think of it. They won't like it when they hear. But what can they do? Buy me out of it? No, not this time. Thank you, stranger. Thank you. I know what they want. They want to marry me to some snotty, spoiled son of another great house. Then I can become Maewyn Wyvern Giff Fiddlestuffs. Suppose it's nice enough, but then I wouldn't know. I have nothing to compare it to. I don't know which is worse, the snotty wyverns or the foolish fawning gifts. Imagine, right in the thick of the war, and me with a sylvan spear, facing red-eyed howling Tuatha. And life beyond the spire. You're not an instructor? I thought they might have sent another. They've had Majessa here for almost a year now. She does always get me to attend to her lessons somehow, though I'm not sure how she does it.
Hello?
Move along, citizen.
Welchmaze is just too...
Do not miss Leogriff's many marvels. Welcome to the Wending, mate. I'm sorry it's come to that, but here we are, eh? What's this, eh? Time to serve? Well, I always knew it might come. Not sure what they want with a poor Runir Westerner like me, but I'll go. I'll go. Where you go when you can't find gold for a Praderi garret or a bunk in the Keys, nor get work in a servant's quarters up in some great house. If you're able, you sleep in a ramshackle house. If you can't, you sleep in the tunnels among the mice and candles and rags. Rathir. Some say it runs near as deep as it runs high. What I do know is the spire top's full of light and magic and wealth. Down here, Shadows and rags and one daft old mage named Faldron Afari. Oh, him? No one knows his real name. Got that name from the way he talks. Some say he was next to the Archsage once, up Spire Top, and a spell went wrong, or his lover fell to her death. Whatever it was, broke him it did. Make no mistake, for the likes of me, it's warm and welcome. Gelfine buys and sells what you please. Kest deals the cards, sparrows come and go. And the watch come through seldom to never, which is how we like it.
Here to gamble? Aaron Kest's right there. He'll deal you a hand. Get back! I won't go, not there. I prefer living to dying, thank you all the same. Well, there's that. Hadn't thought of that. Might be nice. Cook's work or quartermaster's. I'm a fine cook, you know. Today, a man in Rathir. Tomorrow, a soldier. Dead the day after that, I'm sure of it. Runs a good game of cards. Give it a try. He's a friend. Been a friend to me. Well, I'll miss the place. But I suppose there's Dark and Rocks in Cluricon. And soldiers play at cards now, don't they? I feared nothing more than those notices. But fear's worse than the thing itself. Strange, isn't it? Them that can't sleep at night.
Welcome, relax, and rest a while.
Every note is delivered? Good. Then here's your pay. Off you go then. No use standing around. We've got a war to run. The burn's for army use, not civilian. I've seen things. In Chloricon. Things all the drink in the world can't wash from my eyes. This damn city's got too many rules and courtesies, and I just wish they'd all wore their ranks on their chests. I see them coming in, fresh recruits. Poor sods have no idea what they're in for. This damn city's got too many rules and courtesies, and I just wish they'd all wore their ranks on their chests. Greetings, Wolfspaw.
What can I get you, love? You there, my lovely. I like the look of you. I have gold to slip in your purse in return for a small favor. Oh, now, don't sound so suspicious. I need some help in a matter of business. Tell me, do you know the merchant Gwalchmay? I am trying to strike a deal with that willful man, and I think I have found just the thing. Only, I cannot be the one to do it. The man who owns the goods store in the Prairie, he's got his thumb on nearly all the trade in this city. I can't sell anything without his good word, it seems. I have already tried to negotiate with him. He proved hard, stubborn, and unpliable. We could not reach a deal. I was hoping a new face and a new approach might cause him to let down his guard, become reasonable. How very astute of you. Now, Gwalchmay, I have learned, has a weakness for rare wines. This right here happens to be a bottle of Maybrin, his favorite. I wish we had more than just the one. Pity. Here's the contract for him to sign. The better a deal you strike, the sweeter I will make your reward. More than the bottle I gave you? Very good. If you can use that to strike a better deal, I will see you paid more than it's worth. In his goods store, in the Prairie, the market. It's near the center of town. Get him drunk on Maybrin wine, and he should be magnanimous with the contract. If I were to approach him, he'd dig his heels in. But a fresh face such as yours, bearing a bottle of his favorite wine? It might just work. Me? You wish to know about me? I'm flattered, but I prefer to keep my cards close to my chest. The sea wreathes her. Old stone lifts her high. Gold and magic pulse through her veins. In the city of Rathir, a soft whisper in a dark corner unlocks many doors. Be good, my lovely, and I'll... Good to you.
So busy these days.
Curios, talismans, items of power.
Hello. You have come to Gwalchmay's goods. Provisioner to all Rathir, to high and low, great house and sparrow alike. Abrin wine? Wherever did you find it? Forgive me, it's just they're devilish hard to find. You likely had no idea, but there's not a wine in the world I love more. In fact, I think I'll uncork this now and have a sip. Or two. Another? I could cry just to look at it. Best to drink it now. Yes, best thing for it. The more you drink, the better it goes down. A Mayburn? Oh, yes. Very much. Excellent vintage. My warmest thanks. Very thoughtful of you. Very kind indeed. What's this? Trade agreement, eh? It's yours. Why, I'll give it to you for a song. That will get Karas to scout. Ah ha ha ha! Oh, an old crafty trader you are. It's a song, but for you, here's a sweeter one. There you go. Friend to any soul with such distinguished taste in wine. To you, friend. Rotten-smelling stinkers, they are. But how they love the scraps and tossings no one else would pay a coin for. Now there's Anwan and Wyvern Gif. The old oak and the greenweed, some say. Not I. The coin of one's as good as the other. The Wyverns had a claim of their own, mind you. But their marriage to Gif, a scandal. I know the truth of it, but I'm not at liberty to say. A remarkable woman, there's no denying. But you be wary. Those eyes of hers make promises. Promise things she'll never give. Yes, what about him? I sent him on an errand and I'm still waiting. Oh, him? No one knows his real name. Got that name from the way he talks. Some say he was next to the Archsage, once, up Spire Top. Then a spell went wrong, or his lover fell to her death. Whatever it was, broke him, it did. I could tell you a thing or two about this city. Did you know, for instance, that Faldra Nefari ate the 5th Memorial Stone? Cast a spell and ate it. I could say a thing or two about Wyvern Gif as well, if I didn't fear the consequence. The first 4 are easy enough to find about the city. But the 5th, few know the truth of it.
This is the Sage Crafting Table. I can help you with gems and shards and the like. If you want general goods, you should speak to Master Gwalchmay over there. So long.
It's mine.
drink? A plate of roast? The contract? You have it. Let me see. This is... I don't believe my eyes. Did he agree to this? Oh, my lovely. You have done well. This will be very profitable for me. And so it should be for you. Don't let the old dog fool you. He is as shrewd and stubborn as they come. But like any old dog, his tail will wag for just the right treat. For now, then.
Well now, how are you?
This damn city's got too many rules.
Welcome. Relax and relax.
This damn city's got too many rules and courtesies, and I just wish they would all know their rights on their chests.
You're not army. What are you doing here? Just another soldier on leave, and I don't like questions. Now bugger off. Bloody war hero, haven't you heard? And besides, he's right there. You can speak with him yourself. We call it a war, but it's more a dying man's truce. We crouch in Melsen Shear, and they lurk in Cursewood, and shoot arrows at each other. Of course, most of it's in Cluricon, where the damned war is. We're here on leave.
Please, please, I'm only a soldier back from Cluricon. Don't kneel, and I'm afraid I don't do blessings. As you know, until the siege ends, it's a lot of sitting around and brief skirmishes. Can't wait for a real fight. I tell you, we need a place like this in Cluricon. Sure, there are places to drink and gamble, but nothing with class.
A moment, love. I'll be right with you.
Believe me, I've seen worse off in Cluricon. Have you been? Oh, foul land. Rank as a Cruddock's breath, and bleak as the Northern Sea. And that's without the damn Tuatha. This part of the officers' hall's my domain. I pass fresh recruits before we send them off, and treat them when they return. The ones from Cluricon are the worst. Missing or rotting limbs, the pox, that sort of thing. There's no disease or curse or superating wound I haven't seen 1,000 times in Cluricon, so don't be shy, and try not to whine. Goodbye.
I broke my leg. Then the healer broke it again. Can you believe it? burns for army use, not civilian.
A few days and I'll be headed.
Last Tuatha I fought summoned the damn. The ships are all moored up until Elund Karth says otherwise.
Well, it's good to be back. The army keeps lording the burn. Wouldn't want to be caught cutting purses there.
This is the city. Do you have a crime to report? Or any other matter? I can hardly believe the news, but the captain of the watch is gone. That means I will be captain soon enough. The Wending, where the poor live, extends into tunnels carved in the rock. Crimes there are hard to police, and the tunnels run deep. Thieves and the like will vanish there, and re-emerge when we are gone. To be honest, crimes in Rathir are uncommon, outside the lower tunnels at any rate. An occasional drunken brawl among Varani, disputes between merchants, that is all. Think of the Watch as the right hand of the Orbicont. We keep the prison, keep the peace amongst the people. Good.
Move along, citizen. Stand aside. Sage, welcome.
Well, you're no guard. Here to let me out, is that it? That's a jest, mind you. Even if I could slip out of here, the damn watch would have me back before you could count 12. I'd swear the stone spy for them. Whenever they do let me loose, I don't fancy I'll stay longer than a whore's wink. Anywhere else in Armalor, that's where I'd rather be. What am I here for, you mean? Would you believe I disgraced the Great House's daughter? Didn't think you would. I had a right good swindle going with some Wending lads. But are they locked up? No. Bloody Alpha double standard. Let's just say if you carried 100 crates from ship to vault, no one's none the wiser if one or two things go missing from every haul. I wanted to be alone.
Move along, citizen.
Guards and prisoners only through this door. Do not think us a people given to folly or crime. But in a city so large as this, there must always be exceptions to the rule. You don't want to end up in there, believe me. What's worse, though, is resisting arrest. I don't advise it. We are the City Watch, and this is our home. You are a guest. Conduct yourself as one. If you have no business, be on your way.
Watch never rests.
Keep the peace.
Stand aside.
The army keeps Lord in the burn. Wouldn't want to be caught cutting purses there.
Wish me luck on the field of battle. Thanks to you, I'm going there well prepared. Life in a fortress sounds grand, but I'd take Rathir, with its fetes and food and fair-eyed ladies, any day. Nothing like it anywhere in Amalur, I promise you. Beauty, elegance, wisdom. There's no putting it to words, really. The name of Arn kept me safe until now, but a war is a hungry beast, and I suppose it was in my cards to be called, sooner or later.
They got me, sure, but they don't have the gold I buried. Hey, mate, there's a switch here somewhere. Pull it, and we're all free. I don't see what I did wrong. I just set my magic.
Was the city watch or a swim in Bracken Bay? I'm no fool. I chose this. I didn't do it, honest. Had my hand in the dead bloke's pocket, but that don't mean I killed him. Hey, mate, there's a switch here somewhere. Pull it, and we're all free. They got me, sure, but they don't.
Don't see what I did wrong. Just stuck my knife in it good. Don't see what I did wrong.
City watch. Be on your way.
Stop there.
City watch.
Curios, talismans, items of power.
Every morning, fresh soldiers board warships and burn. Every night, the dead and wounded are carried from the ships. In search of a game of hexes? You won't cast in the lower tunnels. Heard rumors of the duel? The drunkard and the hero. They say old Arbogast, who lives by the quays, is rich as a gift and never goes out of his house. The last warship sailed yesterday. Trumpets blazing and all those soldiers on deck. Every morning, fresh soldiers board warships and...
Welcome to Rathir, outsider. The army keeps Loring Burn. Wouldn't want to be caught cutting purses there. Welcome to Rathir, outsider.
I have gems and shards of all kinds. Please, have a look. I can't tell if he's lazy or clever, but he gets away with so much for his age. Drunk again, thanks to you. Now I'll have to watch my gems until he sobers. Then he'll be hung over, and then I'll have to watch my head. It takes great concentration. You can get lost in the work. I like that. Oh, it's so lovely, the Lunar Gardens. Not that I've seen much else of the world. Have you? Oh, I'd be terrified to go so far. So long.
Captain, they say old Abergast, who lives by the quays, is rich as a... What a wine you've brought. Remarkable wine. A third? Ought to save it. But I've had two, why stop now? So good. Nothing like it. Leg's a bit unsteady. Better lie down just a bit. Yes, lie down. Just lie down for a moment.
So much to choose from. Just can't decide.
Wait, you're the Archsage.
Oh, my poor aching head. What's that? Wine? Give it to me. That's the only thing for this aching head. Oh, better. A little better, yes. Why, so you did. Let's have a taste, shall we? Hints of a summer day. Undertones of rose and nectar. Finishes like moon on the water. Area light your way.
Forsted of Forsted Traders, pleased to make your acquaintance. We don't pretend to the great houses, unlike certain families I might mention, but many luminaries have dined with us all the same. When you look about, you see a city of grace and magic. What I see is this bought dear, that sold cheap, cornered markets, doors to profit. You wish for a gnomish spun suite, or a rare fey blade hilt. All these things must come to Rathir before they can be sold. I see to that. Don't you know, the Anwans are an ancient line, though if what I have heard is true, it may be near its end. The Wyvern gifts, on the other hand, no one has anything to say against the Wyverns, but then no one has anything to say to the gifts. Good day.
Anything, everything is bought and sold in the Pryderi market. Anything, everything is bought and sold.
The last warship sailed yesterday.
Are you new to Rathir? Are you here for the Scholia Arcana as well? My brother is. Are you a mage? I bet you're not more powerful than he is. Surely you've heard of it. Full of stuffy old mages and strange books, and the rooms Varen wouldn't let me go in. Just think what might be there. So you met my brother. Was he at the tavern again? Did he mention when I could go see him at the Scholia Arcana chapter house? What? He was dismissed? How did that happen? He's been lying to me. I can't believe it. Thank you for telling me. I'm sorry, but I don't really want to think about the Scholia Arcana anymore. You can go see them in Upper City if you want. I still can't believe he lied to me. My own brother. I don't know what to do now. That's where the poor in the city live. A bit of it's overground, but the rest's in the lower tunnels. It's true, they live in caves. I don't even know where to start. There's so much to tell. The Pradaria, of course, where all the shops and stores are. And the Keys and the Burn, and the Upper City, where my brother's school is, and also the temple and those marvelous gardens. Some merchants sell pails of fish or bolts of cloth, but Leargriff has all kinds of pretty things, and Gwalchmay has anything and everything. I spent 3 whole days in the bookstore, and then I smelled every herb and powder out Rowani's. Pride of Pradari's got boring old weapons and armor. Oh, if you haven't been, you must go. The Scholia Arcana's there, of course, and the great houses. But the best part's the Lunar Gardens. It's always nighttime in the gardens, and so peaceful. You pass through there to the temple, which is also enchanting. The priestess is a fate weaver. The northern piers are called the Keys, where merchant ships dock for trade. It's safer there, sheltered by Bracken Bay, and farther from Cluricon. Only warships dock at the Burn, and it's all soldiers there. What with the officers' hall, though the healer's there too. See you later.
34 and 30.
So many
Not a
of our
goal
young
piece
men
more.
and women lost in this war.
Move along, citizen.
The war is good for business and bad for people. What can you do?
Only warships dock at the Burn. All others must go to the Keys. A prayer for our troops.
Curios, talismans, items of...
I'll sell you weapons, but if it's armor you need, you'll have to speak to that husband of mine.
Before the war, the people of Rathir were filled with hope, with joy. Most of them, anyway. Have you met my husband?
What a terrible thing. Much as it keeps us in business. Him? If you've any love of life, don't talk to him. Can't abide a joke. Can't enjoy a drink. I like to think that every weapon I forge just might kill one of those two Arthur. That's what helps me sleep at night. Farewell, love.
In search of a game of hexes? You want Kest in the lower tunnels.
Lyria, light your way.
Sif Sader at your service. Don't mind the racket. Just my wife, at Harpy across the way. Proud is right, and why not? Fitted most of the Alfar army. No frills, no finery. Just good hard steel. Majestic towers, crisp sea air. And I spend my life in here, with that milksop Adar and my spiteful hag of a wife. What a mouse! Look at the way he taps at the forge. Scared of his own damn shadow. First and greatest mistake I ever made. Only thing sharper than her wares is the tongue in her mouth. My craft is shields and armor only. The art of it's in the balance. Too heavy and you can't move in it. Too thin and it shatters. So long.
Got anything in need of mending? I can do it. Know what I dream of? A quiet forge. Nothing but the sound of the billow fire and the hammer's ring. No oaths, no bickering. That's the day I'll finally make my own work. Until then, mending helms and sharpening swords. I'll manage. Some days I think it's all a jest, and they're like a pair of lovebirds when I'm gone. Others, that there will be bloody murder by noon. When I was young, the Tuatha stormed Erethel. They broke into Rathir once. I still remember the fires and their ghastly armor. Those fires took the southern docks. It's called the Losgiad now. The Burn. Rathir is quite busy now. It wasn't always this way. It was quiet and peaceful once, before the Tuatha. Sometimes all I have is a sturdy hammer and an anvil. Never thought I could be unhappy working at a forge until I met those two.
students of magic, masters of spells.
Don't take it amiss, but you've got the look of someone who's good with locks. And since those keys have clean vanished, I could use your help. Yes, as in, no need for keys. Ace with a lockpick. Gwalchmay wants an old red ledger from the storeroom in the customs house. Oh, I'm afraid they're lost for good. Now, I might have dropped them here, or at Kest's table the other night. But it's just as likely I dropped them in Bracken Bay after I'd had an ale or three at the Seafoam. The chest it's in, that is, yes. Although I don't know which one it is. But it's down there, somewhere. Oh, now don't worry, nothing in the storeroom's seen the light of day in years. No one will mind if you pick a few locks before you find it. The Chamber of Trade's on the way to the keys, and the storeroom's off one of the wings. Just pick any lock down there till you find the old ledger. Me, Gwalchmay calls me lad whenever he wants me, and the others call me hardly anything at all. Just fetch this and lift that. Well, he's a good enough master all in all. Sees to it I earn every coin of my wages, though. No standing about, not in his shop. Oh, the things they say about that Lanshi. That she talked a Jotun out of his own hammer once. And another time sold some Varani fool his own silk for twice as much, after cutting it to ribbons and winding it on spools. Gets these ideas into his head. Needs this old thing, needs that new thing. This time it's shard prices by the decade. Something to do with a deal he is or isn't striking with that Karasta trader. With all these people walking around, you'd figure someone would help me after I lost my keys. Chamber of Trade basement. Just... head toward the keys. Oh, and have these. That should help.
Do not miss Leogriff's many marvels.
A prayer for our troops.
The City Watch never rests. Good day, friend.
Good to have my feet on land.
Students of magic, masters of spells.
The ledger! Oh, Lunala's smile, you've done me a good turn. Master Gwalchmay'll be pleased as a fat Jotun when I bring him this, he will.
Curios, talismans, items of power.
Fine wares today.
Give us a wink, love. Drives my rusty nail of a husband. Good enough an apprentice, though he's wanting some encourage. Still, I pity him. The hours he spends under the dark cloud of my husband's scowl. Come see me again.
Welshmaze is
Curios, talismans, items of power.
Ruwani, apothecary, alchemist, importer, and cultivator at your service. Were you aware that 37 varieties of vine, flower, and tree can be found here? Discounting, of course, the lunar gardens. Have you been? The true marvel of our city, if you ask me. Blossoms you will see nowhere else in Amalur. I've always found the mystery of herbs and fungi far more fascinating than anything else. As soon as I was old enough, I was apprenticed to the great Rilf Janik. You have some skill in the craft, if I'm not mistaken. It would be an honor, a compliment to me, if you made use of my alchemy bench. Oh, you've met them? Well, any friend of theirs is a friend of mine. Although, truth be told, those sisters can be a little strange sometimes. Good day.
They say old Abercast, who lives by the quays, is rich as a gift.
Move along!
How much time have I wasted in these ridiculous books? It's time I could have spent with my brother. I'm studying in preparation to join the Scholia Arcana. Is there any other reason to be in Rathir? This is where magic lives. War is ugly. Perhaps if the generals did more reading, and the scholars did more fighting, then everyone would better understand the pointlessness of violence. We couldn't have been more different, Ram and I. He always excelled at hunting, fighting, combat. Me? I was always the family joke, a boy with his nose in a book. What Ram never knew, and will never know now, is that I admired him greatly. I wanted to be like him. Strong, confident, passionate. True, I believe that the Crystal War is a doomed affair, but my criticism of it was more about keeping my brother home. Home. Safe. Archsage, you know Rathir as well as any of us. Its secrets, its power. I should be asking you about the city.
Welcome, friend, to the Luminary Leaf, bookseller extraordinaire. In truth, I once thought I might be a poet, but it seems in the end I am more shepherd than ram to my flock of tomes. Ah, you see? My metaphors always run amok somehow. Nearly any book you can imagine can be found here, at the Luminary Leaf, be it history, verse, or scholarship. Though, I must confess, we are not as well supplied in gnomish texts as I would like. The ancient steps of our founder and prophet are dear to any Rathiri's heart. But mine shall always stir to the brave tales of the war-sworn of old, pitting steel and valor against chaos itself. Now, while many books can be found only within Scholia Arcana walls, others can only be found without. Gnomish texts, magical controversies. Pelewin tugs at the heartstrings. Medara's mists at dawn takes my breath away. If you seek something a bit more rough and lively, the Varani Kesseniki, or Sea Chance, might be worth a read. I cannot ascend the steps of the spire without thinking on the first lines of The Fall of Dwinian, nor espy the Wending and not recall Stone Shadows. Rathir is a city of letters. I dare anyone to say otherwise. Until next time.
Every morning, fresh soldiers board warships on the ground. Citizen.
Curios, talismans, items of power.
What a wine you've brought. Remarkable wine. A good head on his shoulders, that lad. I asked for a ledger I thought was long lost. He found it and brought it back. Why, they're good-for-nothing louse. Thank you, my friend. I know just how to deal with this. That fool. I was going to deed this store to him one day, and he has done nothing but disappoint. 2 bottles? Now this is a happy day.
$34 and $30. Lots of...
I just did.
Step up. See what I have to sell. Not a bad sight from the bow of your ship, although I've never become accustomed to the strange ways of these southern Alfar. Darkalfar, whatever you like to call them, like and unlike to their sisters in the north. Losalfar, that is. It's my brothers that ply the seas and bring me goods to trade. When I tire of Rithia, I'll wait till they return and back upon the foam. The goods here you'll not find the likes of anywhere else. Not without braving the raging seas, at least. Wind at your back.
Today, see you tomorrow. Docked in Rithia today. A drink, some cheer, a hot meal.
Sorry, can't talk. Got pirates to hunt. I captained my first ship when I was no bigger than my papa's knee, and promptly crashed it into the dock, sinking 3 vessels with 1 wreck. It was then that I knew my destiny was to be a sailor. From that day forward, I spent my life on the water. 20 ships in 20 years. It must be some kind of record. In my experience, islands are places you visit in order to escape torment and certain death. The Gallows End is one destination I will avoid on future voyages. Unless I crash there, of course. He's as elusive as a north wind, a phantom with a skull for a face and fins for feet. Every sailor yearns for the chance to face dead Kel. He and his hangmen go where they please, masters of the Frostbreak.
Well, I was born on this island, raised to believe that the outside world held nothing for me. It was all lies. He has lorded over this island for as long as I can remember. Luckily, he left us alone most of the time. I'll never be sure why. I grew up listening to the first Scion's tales, of Akara's love for us, of his promise to keep us safe and provide for us. Nothing but stories. Akara cares nothing for the people on this island. If he did, why didn't he save my mother? Goodbye.
Feels good to that garden in the temple. These Alpha went that garden in the temple. Spire top. It's always night.
All we haul ashore must pass the Chamber of Trade. Good neither.
Well,
goodbye.
All we haul ashore must pass the Chamber of Trade. Bribes will...
10 years. Anything, everything is
Docked in Rathia today.
Hello, mate.
That garden in the temple, Spire. It's always night.
that garden in the temple.
All we haul ashore must pass the Chamber. Docked in Rathia today. A drink, some cheer, a hot meal, then...
Docked in Rathia today. A drink.
Mind your step.
Docked in Rathia today. Port today, see tomorrow. Hot meal, and on the...
All your papers in order, then? Well, you'll need those to move your cargo. Say, you're not a merchant, are you? Or a sailor? All trade in and out of Rathia must pass through customs. And Lyria's tears, how much trade there is. We're buried in it. Step outside and turn northwest. Those docks are open to merchants, which means, by and large, Varani. There's a form for port of entry, 3 for the unloading of cargo, and 4 for loading a ship. And then the various writs of trade. Oh, so many forms. They just keep piling up. Then I get them muddled and Augusta scolds me, and I end up at the sea foam. Why, the tavern around the corner. Always good cheer there, and never so many papers and crates as in the customs house. Can't miss her. She's the gnome right over there, shouting and making tallies from dawn until dusk. When an island is not an island. More crates of goods, soldiers' feet, and mages' robes cross this jut of rock than any other in the Feylands. Where they come from, I don't know, but they come on boats, in all seasons, and with goods from all of Amalur. Back to these papers here.
Docked in Rathia today.
Captain Talibor.
This is the customs house.
That garden in the temple, Spire taught. It's...
Hello, mate.
Are you a trader? A captain? What?
Do you have any business at all in the customs house? You're standing in it. Or hadn't you noticed? I can't imagine why you are if you haven't any cargo going in or out of Rathir. I am in fact aware that I am a gnome, and that this is Rathir. Don't think every half-drowned sailor who stumbled in here hasn't made that joke. If you must know, Odessa and I do not suit each other, and I'm very good at counting. Counting is the key thing in a customs house. I was born and raised there. My father was something of a scandalous wretch. Everything there is extremely large, though we as a people are small. Have you any notion the sum total of crates that enter and exit Rathir's port on a given day? I do. I know the profit and cost to the city, the average writs of trade per season, the escrow on accounts held. This is what I know of Rathir. Now, where was I?
Sage, welcome.
25 and 20...
Do not miss Leogriff's many marvels.
At your service.
My Lady Coriana won't eat. She won't sleep. All on account of a poor, sick Malian. Woe on House Anwan. The healers say bad blood, but my lady swears it's poison. He sleeps and sleeps, but he's never any better. Well, it's hard to say. The healers are no use. You could go to her yourself and ask. No harm in that. You'll find my lady in the house, by poor Melian's side, most likely. Here, in House Anwan. She spends most of her time by poor young Melian's sickbed. Poor boy, he sleeps and tosses and turns. From the things he says under his breath, his dreams must be ghastly things. My poor lady, what grief she's known. Her daughters lost to Cluricon, and her husband to the war before that. Her son Malian is all that's left to her, and the only seed of House Anwan. Oh, my masters aren't like some up Spire top. Just one name to our house, thank you very much, and nearly old as Rathir at that. There are but 2 left of Anwan blood. One soon enough if young Master Malian does not mend. The young master's sickness, yes. He's the last one living, what with the others dead in the war. Do help my lady if you can.
If you please.
My son Malian is gravely ill. The healers say his blood is diseased. But I am sure it must be poison. If I were younger, I'd go and find the Lapidus myself and prove them wrong. Bring my son this wild plant, and I will see you richly rewarded. This I swear. Of course not. But my family legacy says it will, and I have no wish to watch my son die while there is still a chance for hope. There's only one place that I know of, The Acathan wetlands. You must search for it there. You will know Lepidus by the shape of its blue flower. The wetlands of Acatha. Find it and bring it to my son, with all due haste. Our line is ancient. However, if my son Malion is not cured, we shall wither, and the weeds of wyvern gift grasp ever higher. It is an herb with natural properties. It is not strictly alchemy, and it does not cure a poison. However, it can relieve the symptoms for a time. Malion will still need an antidote before he is fully well. His father died in the Battle of Galliffer Plain. His sisters in Cluricon. He is all I have left, and he is slipping away from me. It was early in the war, and until that time we had known only defeat. The day was won, and my husband lost. The Wyverns were of respected and decent lineage, though their wealth was not great. Then the merchants Gif bought House Wyvern, much to our surprise. They have mixed sea wash with fine wine. The healers name it as an affliction of the blood, but Anwan blood has bent beneath no malady in generations. No, Malion was poisoned, I am sure. Be wary. I have sent servants before you who did not return.
Curios, talismans, items of power.
The Lepidus, you have it?
Oh, goodness.
Oh, I've been having such awful dreams. Insects crawling, dark things closing in. How long has it been? Feels like days. Days? Has it really? It does explain my back. And my head. Poison? Ah, I remember. A bottle of rather good wine was delivered. A gift, you know. I thought I'd have a sip. And then... where is it now? It seems to have rolled under the bed. No one noticed, I suppose. You have it. It's a clue, after all. Forgive me. Still a bit foggy, I'm afraid. I recall Onfei bringing in the wine. It looked good, so I thought I'd have a sip. Then, darkness. Our oldest house servant. She's as devoted to us as... well, as if we were her own children. After my sisters died in Cluricon, I wasn't allowed to even train for fighting. All Anwan's posterity hangs upon me. I understand that. Mother must have been so worried. Did I just fall asleep and stay that way? Both Cassin and Willow were much older, and I remember them as tall and fearsome and fair. They had been dead for more of my life than alive. I feel so foolish now. A gift left at our door, and without a thought, I simply drank it. Do send for Mother if you would.
It was that gift of wine that did it? Oh, that is terrible. Why, if I'd but known... oh, what have I done to the poor young master? Well now, let me think. A servant. I didn't know him, and he didn't say precisely. Just a friend of Master Mallion's was all. What a fright it was, the young master being ill. And all from that bottle of wine. Oh, if I could get my hands on whoever did this. My goodly masters, ever since I was a slip of a girl. Anwan blood is old and not a bit diluted. Unlike some houses upon the spire top.
He has wakened? Thank Lyria. Here is your gold, but this matter is not yet settled. Find whoever did this, and far more gold shall be yours. The poison came in a gift of wine? Show it to Apothecary Rawani, down in the Pryderi. With luck, she can tell us the poison, perhaps the poisoner. You will find her at the spire base in the Pryderi. Present the poisoned wine to her. If anyone can help now, she can. Thanks to you, Malion will recover, and House Anwan shall thrive. The Lepidus has revived him, yet until we have antidote, he is not saved. And while the poisoner is unknown, neither is House Anwan.
Move along, citizen.
What ails, fails, or irks you, there is a potion for it. An alarming question. Allow me. Yes, it is surely royal winds. Few possess such a compound. I am one. Lyria! What is more, I sold a file of it recently to a servant of old Einar Abagast. This is terrible. I will send an antidote at once, but someone must do something. Go to the city watch. Speak with Fabian Tien. At once! Rathir's city guards. Haven't you seen them? Leave my store and head left through the Pederi. Find Fabian Tien and tell him what I've told you. The famous hermit of the Keys. Though his merchant business thrives, it is said he has not left his home in years. I knew his face because he has come to me for various other alchemical items over the years. And I've seen him once, exiting Arbogast's door. The compound is extremely rare, as it comes only from the lands south of the southern Phalanx. It's a devious poison, as you've seen. In far smaller doses, it is used by North Sea captains who must stand at the wheel for days unsleeping, lest they be sunk by floating ice. Fear not, I will have the antidote sent immediately.
Curios, talismans, items of power.
City Watch. Welcome. Something to report? Poison? I'd heard the boy was ill, but that is a bit far-fetched. I'll send one or two of the Watch. You should meet them with these accusations at Abagast's house. Yes, and by Alfar law, you, the accuser, must be present. We don't take accusations against the great houses lightly. The council which governs Rathir. No one knows who is on the council, though you may see their palace atop the spire. They are cloaked in robes and shadows, but do not concern yourself with that. Good.
Not miss Leogriff's many marvels.
War. The war is...
You can enter. This way.
Ah, here they come. He was a good servant. I knew him all his life, and now I have brought that life to a sweet and dutiful end. It was as he wished, though I know you will disbelieve me. I tell you no lies. No, it was not him. He was my disciple, but it was I, and I alone, who began the work of death. There would have been more death, but no matter. Balin's testament burns bright this day. Why? Balin is the god of death, of endings. His testament is simply that all that live must die. And I am his priest. I do Balin's will. I keep the testament. I would have begun with Anwan and their two-tongued treachery, then onward throughout Rathir. Death where I might, until my turn came. But first, it is yours. Go. I will report to the watch. Just look at it.
Curios, talismans, items of power.
It is done? Was he... Here. Take this, and I must make a confession. I nearly married Einar Abergast many years ago. My parents forbade it. I knew it was wrong, that he didn't deserve to be treated so. The follies of youth. I never dreamed he would grow so bitter. And turn to that dark cult. Never. Sometimes I think, if I had married him, I now would be no better than the Wyvern Gift. And in the years since I broke our vows, I have had my own share of tragedy and loss. Yet I have not let it ruin me. But such is life in House Anwan. Rawani's antidote was true. He will improve. I have lost his father and his sisters to the war, but I shall not lose him.
If you please.
Oh, hello. They say I'll be able to walk again soon. Lyria, I can hardly wait. Oh, it was awful. The dreams. I'm feeling better now. I suppose I have you to thank.
What do you need today? Goodbye.
Yes? I have a moment I can spare for you. Good day.
Students of magic, masters of spells.